Okay, this video we're going to pick up on number 6, and we got a few more. All right, so this one will be number 6. Hey, when you get to ones like this, you might start using that notes page that I gave you where we're walking through all the steps on being able to kind of use it takes a little bit more work to work with these because they have a number out front like this. You could use the box method that we did, but sometimes it takes a little bit more work to kind of guess and check on that one and try to figure out. Sometimes people can see the guessing and checking numbers kind of pop out at them a little bit. But let's just go ahead and let's do that other method, the one where we factor by grouping. Okay, so what you do is you're going to take this first number and you're going to multiply it by the second number. So you're going to take 5 times 8. That noise in the background is just my son Jonah playing with colored pencils. So ignore that. Don't worry about it. 5 times 8 is 40. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make a big X over here, and we're going to write down 40 in this spot right here, and it's going to be a positive 40. So then over here we also take, and we are going to write down this negative 13 goes in this spot right here. Okay, so think about the combinations of two numbers that multiply together to give you 40. Well, we got 1 times 40. We've got 2 times 20. We also have 4 times 10. We've got a variety of different options there, right? But we want to think of two numbers that are going to be multiplied together that give us 40, positive 40, but also give us a negative number. So that's kind of interesting. So that means that I know that this is going to be negative and this is going to be negative because I know this is a minus right here. And so that turns out that it should be a negative times a negative gives you a positive multiplication, but also add them together, they give you a negative number. So let's think about all these combos over here. Are there any other combos that could work? Let's see. Well, there's 5 and 8, right? So we could keep going. 5 times 8. Oh, as we keep going, we kind of see that 5 times 8, if we were to add those two numbers together, we're going to get 13. So I'm going to put 8 here and 5 here. It really doesn't matter where you put those exactly. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this up over here, and I'm going to go 5n squared minus 8n. But wait, pause. That 8 right there. Would I put that with the 5, or would I put it with the other 8 that I have on this other side over here? So I probably wouldn't write down 8n right there because 8 and 5 don't have anything in common really. And so what we're going to do is we're going to write 5n right there minus 8n plus 8. Now do you see a little bit more clearly that these two 8s have more in common and these two 5s over here have more in common? So what I did was I took these 13s, this 13, and I broke it up into minus 5 and minus 8. So then I'm going to group it up, and I group it right like this, 5n squared minus 5n, and then I go plus negative 8n plus 8, and we're going to divide out a 5n out of each of these. We ask ourselves, what is the greatest common factor that I can take out of this groupage? And I take a 5 out front. So I'm going to write it right like this, 5n, n minus 1. So notice that all I did was I divide off a 5n out of each of these. Divide out a 5n. And then I'm going to go plus, and I divide off probably a negative 8 out of the second grouping. Okay, so that I get positive n. There, we'll erase that. And I'm going to write n minus 1. Okay, I took out a negative 8. So that's important to pay attention to. I took the negative 8 right here and I divided it off because I want this n minus 1 right here to be exactly the same as this n minus 1 over here. And then what I do is I take this piece and I put it together with this piece over here, and I rewrite it this way, 5n minus 8, and I put parentheses around it, And since both of those terms are being multiplied by n minus 1, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write n minus 1 as the second grouping. Since both pieces are being multiplied by the same thing, I only have to write it once, and that is my final answer right there. My whole entire goal in factoring a quadratic trinomial was to break it up into two binomials. This piece multiplied by this piece. Okay? Next question is number 7. On number 7, I'm just going to walk through this really quickly. Take this piece, multiply by this piece. 7 times 36. 7 times 36. Need a calculator. Hold on. 7 times 36 is 252. Okay, so think about 252 going right here. And my other number is found right here, and it's 253. Goes right here. So I want two numbers that multiply together to give me this. Multiply. And they also, those same two numbers add together to give me this. Well, that makes sense. 1 and 252, right? So 1 times 252 will multiply to give you this and add to give you this. Okay, so let's go ahead and use those two numbers. And they're both positive. Since this is positive and this is positive, they'll both turn out to be positive. So let's go 7x squared. All I'm doing is rewriting this now. And I'm going to break this up into two pieces. Break it up into these two pieces here. Where, which one would I put with the 7, though, do you think? And which one would I put with 36? Well, it looks like I'm going to take the plus 1x and put it over here. And then the 36 probably has more in common with 252. I'm just going to double check. Yep, it's divisible by 36 since we multiplied up here by 36. Okay, so we're going to go plus 252x, and I'm using this number over here and this one here, and we're going to go plus 36. And then I have to group it up. This is why we call it factoring by grouping. Put it into groups, right, like this. Okay, then I take a piece out of this. So I'm going to factor the greatest common factor out of this grouping. So it looks like x will come out front. And over here, it looks like what will come out of this. 252 divided by 36 is 7. So I can actually factor out a 7 out of the front of this one. And it turns out to be, let's see, erase that there. Looks like it's going to be 36. Wait a second. You're going to take a 36 out. Oops. All right. Hold up. Take a 36 out front, and you get 7x plus 1. So let's think about this over here. 7x times x will be giving you x squared plus 1. So yes, we did it correctly because we get the same piece right here as we do over here. Okay, last step, clump this piece with this piece right here. So we're going to go x plus 36 and put it in parentheses, and you're going to multiply it by 7x plus 1. And that's your final answer right there. Okay, next, let's go to 8. Okay, next one. We're going to take this and we're going to multiply this. First, check. Are there any greatest common factors that can come out of that? Nope. No, nothing you can divide out of each of these terms. Okay, this is actually a -1 right here. 6 times 15. What is 6 times 15 equals 90. 6 times 15 equals 90. Okay, you're going to put that in this x, and you're going to put 90 right there. And then you're going to put a -1 right there. Okay, I want two numbers that can be multiplied together that give you 90, but also add together to give you -1. Okay, so we're going to take, well, 1 times 90. Nope. 2 times 45. Nope. You need them closer together, right? So looks like you need them kind of closer together here. And so, well, your answer on this one is going to be 6x squared, and then you're going to break it up into two pieces right here, and here we'll just flash the answer on this one, and you're going to finally end up with this solution right here. Okay, that's the answer to this one. I've run out of time. So, whatever.